So Declan,
Yes.
I think it's time for me to go grocery shopping.
Yo, it's your first time, huh? It's always a big deal.
I go grocery shopping like once every like 2 months.
You've just been sort of nomadically hunting and gathering this whole time.
Well, yeah, because you'll pass
20
by
years of your life.
You pass by an HEB, you pass by a Walmart, and you pick
you forage
the things you need. Yeah, you're like, yes, goldfish crackers. This will sustain me through the week. That could go tomato soup. It's also a delightful snack food.
Almost an entire cigarette lying on a grate. Yes, nutrition.
Foraging, yes.
Exactly.
And the thing is, a lot of people didn't know this, but you can actually break open a used cigarette and then use the insides in a pipe and make that last for several days. But, where somebody sees garbage, I see opportunity. Like partially eaten slice of pizza, I can subsist on that for, a single day.
You're not making that up. You would do that. You would.
I'm not gonna let good pizza go to waste.
The love of pizza runs deep. Yeah, they should make a show where Bear Grylls has to survive, but he's in the city and he just has to eat he has to tear pizza from the arms of rats.
That sounds fucking amazing. I would totally watch that shit.
Really good.
I feel like it would be harder than surviving in the wild.
I don't know. I mean, hobos.
Because Bear Grylls has he
hobos
eats,
ate in the woods. They go in the city, so it's probably easier.
Well, he. He'll eat rats and stuff, but he'll cook it. Imagine, I think he's got too good of taste to just, cut the fucking, the moldy edge of a piece of bread off and eat it. I don't know. But then again, he's eating literal fucking... he drinks his own piss, I guess.
This is common mold. It's not dangerous. I know he's not Australian, but when I'm doing nature, man, I can't not be Australian.
That's a great idea. We need to pitch that. But anyways...
Urban survival.
So the thing that's made me realize I need to go grocery shopping is I'm out of beer. And now,
I mean, there are places. I mean, I guess it's.
Oh, I'm not leaving to go get more beer though. And I've got the alcohol that's in my fingertips. Basically,
you just remember there are calories that aren't beer related. So then you're gonna.
Oh yeah, beer. Yeah, so I'm out of ice too, which makes it really hard because all I have left is absinthe. So I'm just drinking straight absinthe, which I just threw a sugar cube in the cup because this is kind of how you drink absinthe.
Yeah.
And now here I am with my second glass of this horrible, murky, swampy concoction in front of me, and I'm going to drink it anyway.
You could just dumping corn syrup in your absinthe.
Well, that's when you go grocery shopping. That's all you're buying anyway. Mm-hmm. Really, it's like. If you pick up any snack food, that's going to be just entirely corn syrup.
Going grocery shopping, you guys need anything besides absinthe and sugar? No.
It's the scurvy. I'm losing my teeth, but just pick up some limes. We'll start squeezing them into our absinthe, and that'll do it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's grog.
Grog. Okay. Yeah, that's what yes.
Yeah. Declan.
Yeah. Oh, you got more, huh?
It's that time again.
Oh, yes. How far will two men go? They're gonna watch it all, baby. That's
Woo-hoo!
Right. It's time for another episode of Gonna Watch It All.
Third year running, baby. They said we couldn't do it. They said, guys, you'll literally go insane if you watch that much garbage anime. And here we are.
Drinking straight absinthe and eating nothing. So, you know what? It's fine so far. Take
Joke's
that.
on them.
Yeah, haters. We're on to you.
Back off. Fucking fuck me up. Okay.
It's summertime.
Dude, it's like they gave up on names.
What? Huh? What?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Talking about wait, names of what?
Anime.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the first one maybe. It wasn't taken. What did you expect him to do?
Oh God! There's Michael Bay's out for fucking blood now. He's like,
that's the island. It's different.
I see you omitting the Japan. You know what we did last time?
New anime. Anyway. Island. Like an island was taken, so
some island.
So it has to sound like Dante from DMC Devil May Cry saying it. Oh, I'm going to an island.
Oh my god.
Okay, yes, it's summer time, 2018. The living's easy. And it's time for us to watch all of it. A little bit of background on the shows we are going to watch. As usual, we're watching basically all of them except for the kid stuff. And there was one that was kind of in between. I wasn't sure about it. It's some mech show by the Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer guy, but it looked really, really horrible. So I decided we're not going to watch it. I watched the preview and it was
Thank you.
It was
Thank
trash.
you. You're a merciful God.
I wanted to talk briefly about. Have you watched any more of the new Fooly Cooly?
I've only seen the first episode thus far.
Okay, right. We watched that together. I guess we didn't talk. We talked about. We watched Alternative, the first episode of Alternative. Yeah, and then we watched the first episode of Progressive. I've been watching more Progressive, and it's actually pretty good.
Okay, so I need to watch Progressive.
You need to watch
after we did that, I watched. I sat down and started the first episode of Fooly Cooly again, and then binge watched 4 of the episodes of Fooly Cooly.
Of course, yes.
It's because so I should be watching Progressive, is what you're saying. I was going to ask you.
Progressive isn't, it's not amazing, but it consistently makes me laugh out loud.
Okay.
So yeah, you should probably get on that shit. I think 4 was the weakest episode so far. I wasn't a big fan of 4.
That being said, Fooly Cooly, the original, is transcendent and
still perfect.
A masterful work of genius. I after our discussion about it last time, we saw each other IRL, face to face. I needed to go reaffirm that belief, and as it turns out, it's still basically the best thing ever.
We're never wrong.
It's transgressive. It's provocative. It's ahead of its time. It's irreverent. It's every adjective you could possibly throw at it, except for bad, or things that are analogous with bad.
It's unbelievable. But our first show,
yes,
for this season,
dibs, by the way.
Okay, is called Island, by the fine folks at Feel.
Oh my god!
Recently known for Hinamatsuri and Konobiji. This is a visual novel adaptation. I wonder if I would have been able to tell if I didn't know that. It's not that obvious, but once you know, you could tell. I thought that meant it was going to be oddly violent and have bad music. It's not oddly violent.
But it's definitely got that bad music shit, though.
Wasn't sure about them. Yeah, it wasn't noticeable. Like most of the time in visual novel adaptations, like the music is actually it just sounds like a 2004 PC game.
Right.
It's just awful. I think they
coming out of a PSP speaker.
I don't think they even re-record it usually. It just sounds fucking what is this? Isn't TV music, but I don't know. Anyways, you said you called dibs. Go right on ahead.
I would like to go on record and or just make note of the fact that the original story was by Goo. Anyways,
my Goo writes all my stories.
Okay. So, brief anecdote. I was on Discord talking to somebody who also watches anime, and we were talking about hey, he's like, hey, is anybody watching Island? I'm like, yeah, I saw the first episode of Island, and I'm pretty sure I've got this show pinned down. And I basically laid out to him what I thought the show would be, and he went on to, after our conversation, go on and watch the second episode. And about halfway through the second episode, he jumped back on Discord. He's like, Ethan, you were totally right. You knew exactly what the show was from the first second. I'm like, yeah, dude, I've seen it all.
I watched the second episode. What did you call specifically?
Just the quality of the show more so than anything.
Oh, okay.
Whether or not the show was going to be worth continuing. But anyways, so Island. There's a dude, right?
Yeah.
He washes up on a beach. Mm-hmm. Get this. He don't got no memories.
Oh, also it's an island.
He washes up on the beach on an island. He don't got no memories.
Big twist at episode 11. It's actually a peninsula. What the fuck?
Oh, whoa! This is a landmass protruding from another landmass rather than a standalone piece of rock.
Turns out he is the island. He doesn't let other people. Yeah,
he's living on an emotion island. Nobody gets close to him. So homeboy, he rolls up, floats up to the beach. Got no memories. And then this girl stumbles across him, literally, because she trips and falls onto him face first, right into his cock.
Face onto dick, yes.
This was the thing that caught my attention in the show. I'm like, wow. They stopped beating around the bush. He's literally burying his face in or she's literally burying her face in this guy's cock.
Well, yeah, not on purpose, but yeah.
Unintentionally. So she takes him to the police station, and this is where we learn that he doesn't need anything. But he tells the police officer that there's somebody who he needs to kill.
This guy is not terrible at keeping secrets. He's literally talking to a cop, and he's like, he knows that all he remembers is that he's come from the future. That's what he thinks.
Right.
And he's relaying all this information very like cheerfully to the cop, and then just very, very suddenly and unintentionally comically, he gets dark and goes, "There's somebody I need to kill."
And you can't say that to a cop,
goes
man.
immediately back, and the cop's just like, "What?" And he's like, "What?" Oh, never mind.
So we learned that people washing up on the beach is a frequent occurrence on this island.
It's what's happened like twice, I guess.
Yeah, so they're like, their culture, basically what they decided is people wash up on the island, they're going to ship them back to the mainland.
Yeah.
But Homeboy's like, I need to stay here. And then he fucking dips because he's there. The cops like, and the mayor's like, okay, you're getting out of here. And they're gonna load him on a boat, but he bounces, and then somehow driven by a memory of some kind or some sort of impulse, finds his way onto a boat where the mayor's daughter is hiding, and opens the door to this little cabinet she's staying in. And I guess she's like, hey, what are you doing here? Why are you invading this? Why are you, somewhere you don't belong? This is not your property. You're trespassing. And he's like, okay, you can punch me and kick me as much as you want. And that'll be my reconciliation for you, for invading your space. And then I don't remember where we go from here. And then we go to my notes, and it says, homie falls asleep on the beach and has some flashbacks. Is this accurate?
It looks like a flashback, but it's not because of the dreamy vibe. But no, he's lying on the beach. Forward. No, he's lying on the beach at night, and he's visited by a girl.
Wakes up to a chick with enormous hips singing. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's singing, and then you remember there's this lady. She got a sailor hat. I don't think we've met her yet, and he remembers this girl's name, which is like, oh shit. And then he says his name, and apparently she remembers his name for some reason.
Right.
So she brings him back to her spot, where they talk to who exactly?
The girl. She has a roommate or sister maybe, who's a NEET who communicates.
That's her mama. That's her mom, actually.
Oh, okay. Who passes notes under? Wait, she's the same mate?
That's her mom. That's her mammy.
Okay, I don't know. I don't remember her saying that.
So she passes notes underneath the door, and basically she's like, "Hey, the maid's here," and she comes up with this cover story that this is going to be, he's the maid of this house now.
Right.
And then we get another flash forward, but this time it's a real one of him saying that he's going to kill somebody named Setsuna. But isn't that his name?
Yes. Or is it? Is it him saying that, or is he just hearing a voice saying, "I need to kill Setsuna"?
I don't know. And then we made a little tiny girl.
Guess
who's
who
got big
my
hair.
favorite girl is?
Yeah, I didn't even have to fucking ask.
I knew that you would know.
And there's a little girl with big hair. She's a shrine girl.
So big.
Well, it's not even about just the way she looks. It's about what she attempts to do in the next scene.
Well, it's the size and the fluffiness.
Yeah,
it's the
she got some chicken hair going on. For sure.
So good.
So she takes him back to her shrine because she's a little shrine maiden, and
she's in a Miko outfit.
So she what the fuck? So basically, the shrine girl pulls a switchblade on. Here's a flash forward to the shrine girl in the future. She got big old titties in the future. And he's like, this can't be her.
I like that's a funny bit. Is that
it's great?
In the future, she's stacked.
But anyways, he stops flashing forward, and then shrine girl pulls out a fucking switchblade on him.
There was some decent comedic timing on that attempted stab. I thought it was kind of funny.
Yes. So she falls face first and fucking busts her nose open, and apparently her mission is to protect the island. And then anyways, he leaves or something, and then he goes back to the family that he's staying with in their personal library. And he finds a note in a book that says, Setsuna must die. Mm-hmm. And then we get Homegirl singing the song again, which, according to my notes, I did not want. I did not want that.
You don't like a cappella singing.
I really don't.
I also really don't. I think
basically the worst shit ever.
Music comes in at some point, though, right? I think.
Yes, but I still don't like it.
It makes me uncomfortable.
It's really really over the top, melodramatic power ballad shit. I don't fuck with that at all. And then my next note is no, thank you. And then the protagonist cries like a big old loser to the singing, and then we get a flash forward to the. to the big old titty lady surrounded by flame. And that's the end of the episode.
Well, also it's revealed that the singing girl, Rin, can only go out at night because she will die if sunlight touches her.
Now this is a weird bit of weird coincidence here, in that when I was on my plane ride back from where we live, or where you live, to where I live currently, I watched a film without once listening to the audio on it on a plane. So I was just listening to music, and then occasionally I would glance up to a movie that was happening on the screen on this airplane. And I didn't listen to a goddamn second of it, but I know every single beat of the movie because it's very broadcasted and everything, and there's no subtitles. You don't need them. And the film was about this girl who cannot go out in the sun because she got a disease where if she goes out in the sun, she'll die.
Right.
The end of the film, she goes out in the sun and dies because she said she'd rather do that than, live inside for the rest of her life. And everybody's really sad about it, and it releases her ashes into the ocean. So this has just reminded me of that, because I think that's a really fucking stupid premise.
Got that Michael Jackson syndrome.
Right. Fuck that shit. Also, the movie seemed bad, but it's got an actress that I like in it, so that's good.
That's good.
One of the actresses from Riverdale, the sexy redhead one.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So, yeah, this first episode was pretty average. I don't know. The first episode has this just weird thing that comes up a couple times where the tone will be pretty neutral, and then someone will get like really dark for a couple seconds and like really serious, and it's very unintentionally comedic. Like the protag does that, where he does it once where he says there's someone he needs to kill, and then like 5 seconds later the cop's just talking, and he's like, then he suddenly stares out the window and goes, "Once again, something has brought a mystery to this island." And then it just goes back to... This is really funny.
It's almost like a fucking adventure game, which I guess is kind of what makes it like a visual novel.
Yeah.
But like that seems like something that would happen in like a fucking Adventure Monkey Island game, where people are throwing out quirky dialogue and then you get one serious line at the end, or like a fucking Phoenix Wright game or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. I like the protagonist at least. Like he can converse normally. Like he's just a nice... polite, friendly dude. He's cheerful. He's not a total spurg. So he's fun. He teases the girls. The environments look really flat, though. I don't know. And I watched the second episode. Story doesn't seem super interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, whatever.
It's maybe a romantic drama a little bit. And there's gonna be some quirky circumstances, but I could not see myself being interested in this. The girls are a little bit sexy though. Yeah,
they're drawn pretty good.
I feel like most shows have gotten that down at this point, though. It's really, really rare that you see grotesque girls in an anime anymore.
I mean, there's one girl has the shorts I like because they're like kind of. I can't even describe it. Or if I did try to describe it, it would just sound too creepy. But there's good clothes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'd say the girls are appealing, which is what you're watching this show for, I'm sure.
It's a lot of beach, tropical island attire.
You're definitely not watching this show for the story. That's fucking sure.
Probably not. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, we got more shows.
We got more shows. This one's about sport.
Sportsu?
Hanebado, which is about badminton, baby. Which there's also a beach volleyball show, so I'm sensing a competition here. There's going to be comparisons made by me.
Competition in the shows themselves as well.
Completely unfair comparisons between pretty unrelated shows. This is a manga adaptation.
Because badminton is the most serious of all sports.
We'll get into it. This is a manga adaptation by Leiden Films, known for Aira and the latest Berserk and Koita Uso and Killing Bites. The first shots of this show I thought looked bad. Minton. It was like there was something about the shading that made it look like a Mr. Clean commercial. Like, normally I don't mind the white outlines, the white, outline shading on characters, but there was something about this one that made it, I felt like I was watching a commercial. I don't know why.
I know what you're saying, but there's so much animation happening that I'm kind of okay with it.
Yes, it looks a little rotoscoped in spots, but
there's like muscle movement and shit, which is crazy.
Oh,
like
yeah.
There's particular shots where like you'll see individual leg muscles and they'll have their own shading, and that's impressive
There's
to
a
see
lot
in
of
2018.
thigh muscle service.
Right.
Yeah, it was probably either rotoscoped or like heavily referenced, but there is a ton of animation, and it doesn't look like creepy in a rotoscope. It doesn't look Aku no Hana like, but it's not trying to look anime either. Like, it's trying to be semi-realistic. There's no like, they're not shooting beams or they're
no.
They're
It's very traditional, like almost real lifestyle direction to it.
Yeah, there might be some like speed lines on the shuttlecock, but it's not like they're blowing people away with the strength of their, it's somewhat grounded. Except for the boobs that are going crazy.
Yes, that was also my moment. It's like, okay, you're going this really realistic direction, but you have this character with fat old titties,
no
and
sports
it's totally
bra.
distracting me. No. She's got that shit bound like a motherfucker. She's about to be fucking Mulan up in that bitch. Like,
maybe it helps, the inertia. She's found a strategy. Who knows? But the character design, like, everyone looks pretty normal, but then they cut to the crowd and there is an anime ass girl in the audience who totally stands out like a sore thumb. She's got pink hair and twin tails and ribbons and bows and shit. She looks hilarious. But this first scene is a flashback to I guess our main character losing, and she's very distraught because of it. And then the opening, which is extremely vibrant and very cool until they start reusing footage, and then it's like, ooh, ouch, I hope this is unfinished, because it's like, oh, this is really stylish, and then they just go back to the beginning and do the same thing again. But anyways, it's about a badminton club, and there's we start off in a classroom in school, and there's a girl trying to lure people into the tennis club with the promise of a super hunky guy.
This is kind of regressive to me. Not rather than progressive. Where like, it's kind of farcical that you'd have this many women fawning over this one dude. And I don't know.
He seems really hot and he's good at sports.
He's pretty talented, yeah. But like, I don't know. I guess if you're like historically good, you would kind of garner that much attention from the other gender, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Of course, I would know that, being historically good at everything I attempt to do. But
have you seen this? Have you seen how good this guy is at photography? Gotta go check him out.
He embarrassed the fucking, the captain of this.
He's kicking ass
squad,
at tennis. He's very good at tennis. Meanwhile, in the badminton club, we got Coach Aragaki, which was our main redhead girl who lost in the first scene. She is very hardcore, and she is scaring the prospective members away with how stern she is. And at this point, I can't take it seriously, because she's being so cunty, and there's already so much drama. Like, everyone hates her. All this drama. The idea of this much drama in a badminton club is inherently hilarious. I cannot separate like this. It's more dramatic than ping pong. It's more dramatic than Hibike Euphonium. It's the atmosphere is so heavy. It's badminton.
She's a fucking drill sergeant.
Oh, absolutely.
Over badminton.
It's so over the top.
This is now. If we were in China, I'd buy it. but in fucking Japan, no.
Like, son. Badminton, and it's because in badminton was always the unit in gym that was everyone loved, because it was the most laid back, easiest. Like, there was so much. Badminton is a sport with the most rubber banding built in. Like, everyone is good at badminton. There's so
much loft time.
There's so much. The shuttlecock is only fast for a quarter of a second before it immediately stops midair and lets you hit it.
It's designed for old women to play in retirement
and
homes.
It's what? This is fun as shit. But I
fucking love badminton. And at the same time, I kind of find myself enjoying this because it's so ludicrous. Where it's like a show that takes badminton so seriously is just inherently contradictory and entertaining to me personally.
Right.
I like it's. Again, like you said, it's a fucking PE unit here in the West, and I can't imagine it's much more serious in the Glorious Nippon.
I think it's more serious. I think there's a bigger... I think badminton's taken...
Just any sort of racket sport is inherently more... Or do you think any sport in general is going to have more drama to it?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, in real life, it's probably not that much, really. I just think it's considered more of a serious sport in Japan. I don't know if that means there's more drama.
Look, I would be totally down with like a serious take on badminton in the West. I would love... I would be in a badminton club right now. I'd probably be going pro based on how badminton went in PE.
I bet badminton does have an extremely high skill ceiling, but just seeing it, from my experience in badminton, it just looks very silly because of how... Yes. Of how simple it always was. But this bitch is just really, really into badminton. And she's such a goddamn bitch. And so she, after practice, sees the scary badminton girl who beat her a while ago playing tennis. And then this... rival badminton girl goes into fucking bullet time saving a lady from a tennis ball. And
which is another ridiculous sequence, because it's like she doesn't even realize it's happening.
That's very funny.
Like, she just finds herself teleporting. Like, how the fuck did I get here?
Yeah. She just, like, leaps 20 feet in half a second.
Yeah. It's like she just finds herself floating in the air.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Looks just there's no expression on her face. But this badminton dude tries to recruit her by getting too touchy-feely and gets mistaken for a poivot. And she runs away in a very silly, like, serpentine motion. So her friend, badminton girl's friend, is trying to recruit her into the badminton club because they're seeing how good she is. But apparently she's quit. We get a lot more drama from our main girl. And her friend just drags her to badminton club, tries to get her to join, and then they decide, all right, you and me were going to have a rematch, and if I win, you join the club or something. Shobushio, and that's it. That's the end of the episode.
I love it. This is something that will only exist in anime. This is like this doesn't exist anywhere else.
It's a little
in the world.
Formulaic. Like, as always, you got to play a match. It's just
yes, but where badminton will never get its due anywhere else on the planet. Mm-hmm. Nobody will ever take badminton this seriously anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, it is entertaining, and it looks really nice. I just totally wish this character does get better in episode 2. I probably, so it may, I'll probably, there's a good chance I'll continue watching it. If they, if it were more anime and they gotten even more ridiculous with the badminton, if it had reached like
if it needs to be life or death,
sort of,
I want the stakes to be as high as possible.
Well, not literally, but just like hyperbolically. Like, it should look like they're fucking. Yeah. It should look like if they get hit with these things, then their heads will just get split open. I want to see fucking like air bursts that like knock everyone over.
It just stops being about this sport at that point. You know what I mean? Like, it's as it stands. This is still pretty much invested in badminton as how it's played, right?
Yeah, they get into technique.
I want people
episode. Yeah,
I don't know. I guess what I want is ping pong, which already got made. So
yeah, you can watch the other ping pong show. Ping pong. What's it called? Girls ping pong.
I watched the 2 good ping pong shows, so I don't know if I really have a need for a third.
Oh, okay, it's pretty good. Yeah.
So that's Hanebado. I thoroughly enjoyed this for the wrong reasons. I don't enjoy this the way the creators intended, but I got a joyful 24 minutes out of it. So,
well, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Fucking A.
Oh, next up, this one.
Hold on, I gotta pour something. I'm out of drink.
Oh goodness! All right, wait. Are you leaving the room?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
I have my expensive whiskey near me. I'm not about to pour that over something
Just let me
so ludicrous.
jot down. I need to make an edit here. Oh, no.
Ugh. Okay.
Wait, I just heard you say that you poured absinthe all over your hand and you immediately sat at your desk, so I'm wondering how you dealt with that.
It's on my jeans now.
All right.
These need to wash anyway. Anyways.
You don't get sticky hand?
There's so little sugar in it.
Oh.
And it hasn't quite dissolved in yet.
Okay. Yes, next show is Senjuushi.
Let's
Senjuushi.
see. This is
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, it's a game adaptation, phone game, I assume, by TMS, and this one's got boys. Oh. It's our first boys show.
Oh, so many boys.
Oh, boys, it's blowing up my
This
shows.
one's me as well.
This show's also me. Oh, you mean you wanna... Fucking stupid. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Let me tell you right off the bat, this world seems pretty shitty.
Oh, God, this one, right.
Fuck. Wait,
can I just say, the first 30 seconds of this are just like, the impression I got was just like, what if we made a show that's just Mommy from Madoka's musket stuff, but with boys? just doing the musket stuff.
All right. So we got a world, shitty things happened. There were nukes that were dropped. And then
Noboru.
And then everybody gave up and let a world government take over, which is a bad move, by the way. Don't do that. A universal government's always a bad idea. And then we got some badasses that fought back with antique weapons, which is pretty fucking hard, if I do say so myself. Using
also
go ahead.
Go on. Well, it's like muskets, but also magic. So I'm just like, why do you need the muskets, really? You know.
So. Because it's just, you know how intimidating that is to roll up to a battlefield with a musket? Imagine being the other dude. It's like, we have literal laser guns, and you've got a fucking musket, and you're that confident to show up? Like, that sends a statement.
They can't 3D print the guns? Like, what's going on?
I don't, this might have happened in the 80s. Who knows?
Could be.
So, some badasses fought back with antique weapons. And then we meet a couple of musketeers who I thought at the time were modeled after weapons or like named after weapons from French history. But no, they're literally weapons from French history or the world
guns.
history who are
They're doing that thing.
Animated. They're anthropomorphized as humans.
Yes, because this must be one of those, what's it called? Gotcha games? Like, because this was making me thinking, where's my Girls Frontline anime? I can't stop seeing people talking about fucking Girls Frontline. And it just must be one of those where, hey, the guns are also boys that you can look at.
Right. It's like there's nothing. I have nothing. I was gonna compare it to that Pokemon Fire Emblem game, but even then,
no, you have to compare it to oh God, what was it called? Hana, the game that was adapted. The boys were swords, I think.
Nope.
And it was like so popular that Japanese women were buying tons of swords because they were playing the game so much. The idea, oh man, because surely this game is being played largely by women, that means that a bunch of Japanese women somewhere are really, really into like 18th century firearms, which is the fucking raddest shit.
Good. That's my ideal woman. So, I want a woman with a gun collection, and they just sit on the wall. You know, she's not going to use them. But she got him, you know. Like that's just where her fascinations lie. But anyways, so there's like we meet a princess. She got an eye patch, but I think that princess might actually be a dude. And we're in a bunker at this point. By the way, it seems to be like some sort of resistance bunker.
Might be underground. Yeah, something about supreme nobility.
So we meet some American weapons,
title card
and then one of those weapons is doing some cooking. And then we cut to a scene of an old man getting bullied somewhere inside of a city that's obviously not been liberated from the world government yet. And then a dude stands up for the geezer, and then some guards come and fuck the bullies up, like stomping the shit out of them.
Yes.
And then we cut back to our bunker.
Show that it's bad, totalitarian. I guess everyone was sick of war. They were just like, no man, no more of this. So they basically gave all their weapons to the UN, and the UN was like, Okay, I guess we're gonna use these.
This is exactly what Hobbes would have wanted. You motherfucker. Hobbes is like, yo, any sort of universal power is better than just the rule of the wild. So, give your power up to a universal government, you fucks. And I'm like, no, this is what happens. Hobbes, you're so singular in your ideal. You don't understand. Anyway,
to think I loved that newspaper comic as a kid.
Anyways, so a dude stands up for the geezer. Guards fuck the bullies up, and then we cut back to the bunker. We meet some more cute boy guns, which is a crazy note to have in your notes.
Twink guns.
And the boys get all hot and bothered about thinking about their upcoming mission because they're finally gonna be able to prove themselves as the best twink boy guns.
I'm finally gonna be able to shoot.
I'm gonna shoot. And then
that would be a funny every time they have to pump the gun, how you have to pack the gunpowder, and they just have to do that really hard, and it's like, oh fucking
jam that rod in there, boy. So we get some reject Wii Sports music during a training montage.
I didn't notice that, but okay.
They're training to be good guns. Mm-hmm. And then they go into battle after all this lead up, and then they get fucked up. Like, it seems like they're way out of their element. They're over their heads. Yeah. And then one of the boy guns just goes hard as a motherfucker. Like, he sprints in there full speed, and he's just plinking fools like it's fucking Call of Duty World at War or some shit. And then the term supreme nobility is said a lot, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, well, supreme nobility is the superpower.
So it seems like this show is about cute boy guns who are staging a rebellion against some sort of universal world government. That's it.
Yeah,
it's not for me because I don't like cute boy guns.
Also, it's really boring. That's what you didn't mention.
Well,
is that
it might be less boring if you're into cute boy guns, which I'm not.
There's so many interactions about stuff that we, as the viewer, don't know about between characters that we are not acquainted with.
True.
Like, it's the same that all phone adaptations have. There's so many fucking characters, so that
there are like 30 of them shits.
You can get hot micros on the back end, so all the fans get mad if they don't see their favorite boy gun on the screen. So they have to cram them all in there, and none of them get any screen time.
All right.
So they all have to. It's all just like 30-second conversations between.
Because like one of them, and the thing is that we're introduced to them, and then they give the most like blanket idea of who they are as a character. It's like, this one's a hothead. This one's
girly. I couldn't tell if any of them were actually girls. I don't think any of them are.
I think they're all boys.
Some of them are femme presenting, I think is the term. The only one with a personality is the leader with the ship captain's hat. He's cool.
Now imagine if you're coming the entire time. Does that make the show better?
The entire time? That makes it sound really exhausting and painful. If I was edging the whole time, maybe.
Okay, now we're talking. I'm not really into this one. I think it's pretty bad.
This is bad. This is a bad show. It was pretty funny when he went into Sopedo mode. But
yes, that was the only thing I enjoyed was when that hardy dude started plinking fools with like a Browning. He's got a Browning automatic rifle.
His name is Brown. Yeah.
So that's cool. That's really it though.
That's yeah.
All right.
It looks like shit though. It's like, yeah. Anyways,
it's an interesting thing to observe from afar, but nothing I would ever watch.
Oh, speaking of ambiguous gender.
Oh boy, nothing ambiguous about these.
Well, I guess, yeah, if you're in the know. Backstreet Girls. 3 words. Do not sue.
Oh my god. You would explain this to me at some point. You would lay the groundwork.
Let me tell you, I was very excited about this show because I read the premise and I thought, boy, if they even put in a tiny bit of effort into this show, it could be really, really funny. It's a manga adaptation by JC Staff.
JC, Staff.
And I was psyched, and then I heard right before I watched it that it sucked, and I mean, I knew the art style looked terrible,
Uh-huh.
but I was hoping it was kind of on purpose, like, just sort of to give it a grossness
Intentionally
to
ugly,
go,
yes.
to go with the very like crass comedy that I was sure to ensue. Just so much potential. For those of you who don't know, even though I explained it a while ago, the premise is that a bunch of Yakuza fuck up so badly that their boss makes them go to Thailand, get sex reassignment surgeries, and turn into idols. Which is so choice. Just
It's
chef
pretty funny.
kiss, just fucking mwah. Ooh.
I can't believe that it got made kind of levels of like, that's tasty.
So good. First of all, the subs were shady as hell that I watched because the people I downloaded them from, I don't think Crunchyroll's simulcasting this. And
That doesn't fit their outlook. That doesn't fit their.
Oh no, anime's for everyone. So this show's not for you. I don't know why they're. It's probably just because it's shit. Really is. That's why they're not doing it. But yeah, the subs admitted that I watched admitted just like, yeah, it's basically the same as the manga. So we just took the manga's translated lines and put them in the show. So who knows how many of these lines actually match up?
Sure.
Yeah, and also there's no animation. It's like a slideshow. Like it's one step.
It's basically you've got moving TIFF files over top of a background.
Yeah, it's like one step above Inferno Cop, except Inferno Cop was funny and doing that on purpose. It's like one step above a picture drama that you get as a bonus on a Blu-ray. Like there's zero budget. Like it's just absolute shoestring, nothing.
Right.
And the opening is like a live action silhouette idols dancing, which makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it.
God, I was like that you're. I'm glad that you also thought of that as a warning sign, where you're like, oh man, this is like, if you want to do it right, you have it be the most blowout, amazing opening you possibly can of them as girls. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
you can't. Not everything can be Pop Team Epic.
Oh, which I still haven't finished, by the way. It hurts me, but I love basically all of it, so
I can't help you. I've told you. I've already told you. There's nothing more I can do.
I gotta finish it. I'm at like episode 8 or 9 too. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very watchable. You can watch it all in a day, an afternoon.
Go ahead.
So the setup happens too fast. First of all, is my problem. They could have spent an entire episode on how they made this transgression against their boss. The journey of going to Thailand and getting sex reassignment and then training as idols. Like, they just skip through all the stuff in like the first 5 minutes of the episode. Even though like that's the whole premise. That's the most interesting part.
And we got at least 13 episodes of this shit.
Yeah, dude. Like this is a 24-minute fucking show.
Yeah.
Why not, if you have that little money and time to spend on this shit, why not just make it 6 minutes? That would make it so much more forgivable. Just baffling. So they skip through all the like funny stuff about this show, and then it's just sort of gags where the gag is they're doing idol stuff, but then they occasionally slip into Yakuza talk and they're acting like Yakuza men, but then occasionally they when they're talking to each other and start acting like idols, and they're confused and yelling at each other like, why are you acting like a girl? And some of the bits, like if they were animated well and executed a little bit more thoughtfully, they would be funny. Like how they keep like they're being trained in idol stuff, and they keep relating their trainer's advice to stuff their old boss told them from prison, and like that's a pretty funny gag because they're getting all emotional. But it just looks like such ass.
I'm holding my microphone now.
No, you did. Last time you did that, you were clipping like a motherfucker for like an hour.
I'm doing it for this brief second.
Okay.
So Declan, what you're saying,
please.
Is,
yes,
if this was a manga, this would be funny. Because in a manga form, you're reading over it pretty quickly, rather than being committed to a solid 24 minutes. You can absorb all of these brief ideas, like the idea of them, like, oh, I'm conflating all of this pep talk you're giving me with a pep talk that my senpai in the Yakuza once gave me. Which is conceptually interesting, but we go through the rigors of it's probably done across 4 or 5 frames in a manga, but here it's a solid 2.5 minutes of a joke that wore itself out after the first one.
Yeah, I mean, jokes are mostly timing, so I feel like the animated medium has more potential for comedy because of the timing you could do and the
I would
audio
having
element,
consumed
the
a lot
visual
a lot of comics and manga recently, mostly comics. I would say that you can do timing inside of a comic book format or a drawn format. This just brings the joke out to such a degree where it's actually excruciating because you've already laughed. Yeah. You've already got the initial joke in there of like, oh, they've taken a lesson they had learned previously from the senpai and applied it to this new situation, and it's no longer funny.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol.
So there's a lot of this. What is?
Doom Patrol is very funny.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. It's by Grant Morrison. It's amazing.
Oh, is that an American? One of those.
Yeah.
One of those.
It's the weirdest goddamn graphic novel that's ever been written.
White Devil comics.
He's from Glasgow. It's about as white as you can get.
That's true. So most of this episode is there's a rival boss fan, like a rival Yakuza guy who is a fan of them, and he creeps on him and they recognize him and they're really mad, and another fan gets him turned in. Whatever. One of the show's features is that there's tons of yelling. Everyone's just screaming all the time because they're Yakuza men, and it's Japanese comedy with Yakuza men, so everyone's just fucking screaming, which sometimes I like and sometimes it's just
can be a little bit much.
But yeah, I don't like this.
My initial impression is more positive than yours, but I didn't love it the way that I wanted to.
Yeah, like
the novelty. Remembering the novelty of it was enough to get me through like the first 10 minutes, and then once we started to get into like the sequence of them, getting the pep talk, because like that everything with that character felt really flat to me. But I did also like the ending, like the bit at the end where the rival boss shows up to their, meetup or whatever it is, a fan, because I'm like, where could this situation even go? But it doesn't go in a way that's satisfying to me, because they could have constructed some sort of elaborate plan, but instead it's done away in a gag. Like, I think you could have really strung that out over multiple episodes rather than paying it off right there in the moment.
Right, yeah. It's very fast. It's just like quick gags.
And that's what makes me think that it's just a poor manga adaptation of a manga that's probably pretty good.
Yeah. What the fuck was I gonna say? Shit. Oh, I think probably the most apt comparison you would make is to Sekko Boys, because that's very, very silly premise, but they went right and it was a short and it was pretty funny.
Right.
So that's look to that maybe for high concept comedy gag things. I don't think that was an adaptation even, though. But yeah.
Can we flip-flop the next two things we're about to cover?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
Oh, because you want to do the good thing last.
Right.
Yeah, of course. Okay, yeah, no, perfect.
All right, I got this next one, by the way. But set it up for me.
Let me set the tone. This is... Oh, Isekai, Maou to Shoukan Shoujo no Dorei Majutsu. This one's got Isekai and Maou and Shoujo and magic
buzzwords.
That's how you know it's good. It said, can you believe this is a light novel adaptation?
No way.
By Ajiado. Whoops.
How many copies of this light novel sell? This has got to be the best one selling of all time, appealing to everybody.
Probably so far. Ajiado, who have done not much. They did Kujibiki Unbalance, which is the anime within
right.
Within fucking Genshiken.
Yes.
And more recently, whatever no Izetta the Witch show. So, and this is an isekai, as you can tell from the thing.
I'm glad, because my first note is it's an isekai.
It is an isekai.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So there's this dude, right? He's a mega badass evil dude inside this game.
In an MMORPG.
Yes. And you're like, wow, this guy's a super badass. And it turns out that he's an incel, and he gets tilted.
He's a hikikomori.
Specifically gets upset at couples. and he's
he's yes,
right.
A neat.
Now, stop me if you heard this one before. The guy who plays this evil badass dude gets pulled into the game world.
But it's not really the game world. It's like a real world that it just happens to be like the game world.
Right. And
also, I took. You can't just name the guy Diablo. You can't just name the big bad guy in the RPG Diablo. I don't think that's allowed. And that's just.
I wish I had played Diablo. By the way, I just decided all of them. I feel like those Diablo games are probably pretty amazing.
I mean, people just lose thousands of hours to their life to fucking Diablo.
If you're gonna play any game, I just don't think I have what it is. There's like something inside of people that makes them addicted to World of Warcraft and Diablo and those, those Blizzard games. And I just don't think I have it, which makes me safe.
Well, have you ever played one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I played StarCraft. And I was able to pull my. That's different though because it's not so much about the grind.
StarCraft is a skill. That's a skill ceiling. Like that's not a dopamine reinforcement machine.
Well, I think didn't Call of Duty just summon that? Didn't they just take that and steal it and pump it into a game that's more accessible for normies?
Take what from Diablo?
Yeah, like that loot grind shit. Like wasn't that the innovation of Call of Duty 4? Is that
Diablo did not invent the RPG. No, they invented RPG style leveling.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Things. Like the unlock culture. You know what I mean? It's like you got to get to the next level. So that's entirely
that was around the time. That was around the time where Call of Duty introduced it to shooters.
That's what I'm saying.
That was at the point where everything. Well, BioShock did it first, I think.
But BioShock and Call of Duty 4 came out the same year, and Call of Duty 4 did it in a way where you can play with your friends. BioShock is 2007.
It's fucking bullshit.
Put it on the Google that shit right now.
You might be right.
BioShock is 2007.
You're right.
Okay, so BioShock and Call of Duty 4 came out the same year.
System Shock did it first.
But Call of Duty put it into a game that you can play with your broskies while cracking a brew,
Well, I'm cracking a brew at 14.
Well, I'm not saying this applies to everybody. I know I currently work with somebody who, this dude lived a life that you and I would envy, right? He went around the world. He sailed across the fucking Atlantic with somebody he just met. He lived a life of adventure. He literally was married to models. And then...
Oh, yeah, the life I want to live. Multiple divorces.
No. That's the thing, is that he's seen what it's like to be married to the sexiest people on Earth and obviously divorce them. And then... because that's how that worked.
This man
and yet
absolute heartbreak.
But he still found himself addicted to... First it was Unreal Tournament, and then it was Call of Duty. And it gets even people who have been to the edge. They've seen what it's like to live on top of the world, and even they can't even separate themselves from the addiction of the Call of Duty. And it's something so universally appealing about a shooter game that gives you that dopamine rush of a World of Warcraft or a Diablo. But anyways, back to this anime we're talking about.
I'm aware that Call of Duty 4 is a good game 11 years later.
Thank you. Okay, anyways.
I'm done with video games forever, so I wouldn't, next thing comes around.
It's almost like I'm way more done than you are. Let me.
Did you see my tweet?
No, I didn't.
Check our Twitter feed.
Okay, let me tell you about a game called Skate 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm checking.
Dude, are you ready for that session?
No. No. What the fuck? Am I ready for?
Maybe
session?
It'll be okay.
It's Persona time, baby. I got one shot at an hour into the last boss and snapped the disc. Half decent game, 6 out of 10. All right, that's basically where I figured you were at with Persona 5.
Yep.
And how
that's a year of my life I'll never get back.
You didn't snap it.
Oh, I absolutely did.
It's gone?
Yeah, that shit's in the garbage, baby.
Oh, man. Well, is it fun?
It's Persona... no. I don't think that game's very good.
Well, look, to put it in perspective, these are the game. This is the single game I'm excited about right now is fucking Resident Evil 2 remake. That's it. It's the only game I care about is the remake of Resident Evil 2.
We gotta finish the original Resident. I watched the trailer for Resident Evil 2, and I didn't recognize anything from when we played Resident Evil 2. What's up with that?
Let me tell you about the second half of Resident Evil 2. We'll finish.
I thought we were most of the way through it.
No, what?
I thought we were.
Dude.
I thought we were like 2/3. You know,
We're 20% in, maybe.
we played it for like 5 hours. What the fuck?
Oh God. He thinks we're fucking 30% through the way around.
I guess games used to be long.
Video games used to be like experiences. You used to dedicate a portion of your life to playing a certain game. And then while we're so
Tell me about it. Let me tell you about spending an entire year. That entire year of my life, in my mind, is now characterized by like the background of me trying to finish Persona, and that entire arc ended with me rage quitting and snapping the disc in half.
God, yeah, it's yeah.
One shot. I was even defending. Everyone was guarding, and he still one shotted me.
I have books that are like that right now, where it's just like I started this book in
Fuck you, Hemingway. Just tear the pages.
October of last year, and it's still fucking staring me in the face. And I've read half a dozen books inside the time that I started that fucking thing, and it's good, but I hate it. Anyways, back to this Isekai anime that no give a fuck about. Anyway, so there's this dude,
Diablo.
right? And he's a mega evil badass dude, and he's an incel, which you disagreed with, but whatever. He gets pulled into the game world, but it's a real world, and he wakes up immediately getting kissed by two ladies at the same time. But one of them's Elf, and what's a cat girl? Cat girl's got no titties. Elf got big old titties.
Now, yeah, and at this point, I want to fucking die. Because it's so, like, this is just, no value, just like, whoa, I'm being kissed by two fantasy ladies, whoa, cut to opening, just like, fuck this shit. But, keep going.
Anyways, so... I guess so homie doesn't know how to talk to girls, so he just starts putting on his act as a demon lord.
And that's when it starts to kind of win me over. Like the opening, like you see that he's fucking ripped and he has two women in his bed.
Right.
Like, and I start thinking like, okay, maybe they're going all the way with this. And you know, I'm liking the girls also. Girls are pretty. And then he starts LARPing as Diablo because he doesn't know how else to act.
And that is a novelty, for sure.
And then he accidentally enslaves the girls and puts chokers on them, choker necklaces on them. And at that point I'm like, okay, all right, go on. I'm intrigued.
Is there a police siren going on outside my window right now?
Like directly outside your window?
Like that super like there's like two of them, right? Like there's like the and there's like a that one. You know, like the really like rapid one.
No, I don't.
Well, anyways, that's the one that's happening outside my window right now. Anyways,
it's weird that I can't hear it.
It's pretty distant.
Oh well, I mean, surely you're used to that. You live in a city. Aren't you used to hearing sirens?
I live in a good part of town, Declan. Please.
Well,
no.
I live in a good part of town, and I still hear ambulances.
You know what I'm fucking used to hearing?
Gunshots.
Goddamn fucking birds outside my fucking window every morning. 7:30.
That's how birds work.
Like,
what do you think? Wait, what?
It's 7:30 in the morning.
Dude, birds start at like 5:30. What do you mean? Oh, that's a pretty annoying bird, I guess.
Look, next time you come down here, you'll understand. This is unbelievable.
Maybe, yeah.
I'll never understand why these birds need to wail like they're fucking dying every morning.
Try to bang. Don't let
that ain't sexy. I can tell you for a fact, if I were a lady, I'd be so turned off by...
It's not a lady. It's a bird lady. You got to put a broom on your window so they stay away. Or something.
It's not about they're not outside of my window. I can hear them for fucking miles.
Was it that sea of the same birds there were that sea of birds that we were in the HEB when I was down there?
No. Those are grackles. Those are way meaner.
Grackle's a very funny name for a bird.
More. Anyways.
Give me more isekai.
Okay, isekai. So, kiss cute girls.
They stayed it in.
Little reversal of action. He accidentally slaves them. Gets a ring that reflects magic attracts. You already knew that. Elf girl, they're staying in, right? She's like, hey, can I stay in the same room as him? Because we don't need to spend money on 3 rooms. And
this doesn't make any sense, by the way, because supposedly they're getting 2 rooms, and the obvious solution would be that the 2 girls are in one room.
This is where my notes go all caps.
Okay.
What flavor do you want? We got big titty elves and we got little cat girls.
Oh, I mean, sure. I mean,
all right, you're not satisfied with those? We got a fucking MILF lady. She rounds out a solid trio.
Oh, right. Yeah, she shows up. She's the leader of some magic guild.
Whatever bullshit. Yeah. Anyways, Homeboy just starts calling dudes plebeians to their faces, which is alpha as
he's asserting dominance. It's awesome.
And then it turns out Catgirl's home hiding a secret of some kind, and he threatens to torture her if she won't spill the beans, which is, I mean, that's alpha as fuck. So he touches her ears.
Throws her down on the bed, doesn't know what to do, and just starts scratching her ears, which is just like jerk. It's just pleasuring her. I think
they frame it and light it like a sex scene. And he sucks on her ear, and that's what gets her. That's when she's over the top.
Well, we gotta go through the escalation here, because at first he's just like kind of touching her ear, and she's just like, oh no, stop, and then like it just keeps going, and I'm just like, oh boy, and then it's like, and then she gets hard, just straight up hard nips, like hard ass nips, and I was like, Jesus, this is way more than I thought I was gonna get. And then he starts nibbling on them shits. I mean the ears, not the nips. But hot damn. And then the secret is that she has a demon inside her.
Oh, boy, does she.
And then she just acts like, oh, no one has ever accepted me, an extremely gorgeous, beautiful, nubile cat girl.
It's the first thing that would happen. The second a cat girl... Go ahead.
Because there's a demon inside her.
The second any cat girl gets any sort of demon in her, there's going to be a whole bunch of boys here coming out to kill it, right? And then
no, they're going to be out there to fuck the cat girl and not give a shit.
So Homeboy's going to kill it, right? And then the MILF's guard comes after him. He's out in the streets where he should be because he's a thug. Mm-hmm. And the MILF's guard comes after him with a fucking gang, right? There's like a gang of dudes. And then the guard summons a giant lizard monster, and apparently it's weak as fuck. And the protagonists don't give a fuck about that because it's strong, a level 30.
But this is when he realizes that his extreme power, because he was the most powerful guy.
He was a demon lord.
Just straight up the most powerful player in this MMO. Powers have carried over to this fantasy world, and he makes short work of this guy's super powerful lava monster and scares the pants off him.
Yeah, I'd be shook as fuck too if I'm like, I summoned the most powerful demon ever. Oh, you just wasted him in one shot.
Oh yeah.
Anyways.
And then the ED, which is super, also really fucking lewd. Did not expect it from this show. It takes a lot to surprise me with lewdness these days, but it did it. I am very ashamed to kind of enjoy the show. Like, it's very basic power fantasy. Like, he's just the strongest by far, and he's bossing everyone around. And it's just junk food, and I kind of had a good time.
That's how I feel about the next show. This current show that we're discussing, I'm like...
That's how I feel about most anime, but, you know.
I was already tuned out, right? Because it's just Isekai. But it's so gratuitous, and it literally doesn't give a fuck. I want to see how far down this rabbit hole we can go. Like, I want a show that's got the fucking tone of Daria, but then it's also an Isekai.
Daria? Oh, he just walks around making pithy comments about...
Right.
Oh, alchemy, huh? Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Oh, yeah, people starving in the streets. You're turning shit into gold.
La, 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 la. Just like, it's almost like he's upset to be in such a one-dimensional world. You know what I mean? That's my ultimate end game, where people are...
My name is Hank Hill, and you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Well,
Have you seen that clip?
No.
It just made me think of that. You can watch Mike Judge, just totally confused looking, like giving an endorsement for Alex Jones in Hank Hill's voice.
It's like I want people who are upset because they're in an isekai rather than being excited. They're like this is the most one-dimensional world ever. There's nothing interesting happening in here. I guess I'll just roll over it because that's all I can do. You know what I mean? Like, it's you have no power over this world because there's nothing fulfilling inside of it because it's just an isekai. And what you get out of it is ruling everything, and you're still upset because you're like, I'm a conqueror. I've taken over this only world that I have access to, and there's still nothing left for me here. There's nothing to give me any sort of genuine satisfaction because I immediately woke up and was surrounded by beautiful women who were kissing me, and obviously this is so farcical that there's nothing there that will give me any sort of true meaning in my life. So I'm doomed. I'm
deconstruction of Isekai.
Right. Why not?
I think that's what ReZero was, probably. Maybe not. I don't know. It's kind of, I mean, like, that's kind of what Konosuba is, but in a comedic way. What the fuck was I gonna... Oh, wait. There's a hover hand joke that I thought was funny.
No.
Okay. I feel. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Is I should watch Daria because I feel like I have a total grip on what Daria is, but I wonder if I actually do because I've never seen a second of it. But I just feel like I totally know what I have a handle on it. But I could be wrong.
I've seen all of Daria.
Jesus.
I watched it with the original soundtrack because if you source it, if you're going to watch it,
licensing,
you need to watch it with the MTV soundtrack.
Right. Of course.
I will tell you right now.
How was my impression?
It's probably exactly what you think it is, but it's not. Okay. But it's also self-aware in that it also knows the show that it is. Okay. And on top of that, the voice acting is bad. I would go so far as to say the voice acting is obnoxious. But at the same time,
it's hard
I don't give a fuck because it's so good.
I mean, I can't imagine. It's hard to imagine voice acting being bad in a show where all of the characters are just like American teenagers. So all you have to do is just kind of sound bored. How do you fuck up sounding bored?
It's specifically 3 or 4 characters in the show, where one of the examples is there's a cheerleader character whose voice is so grating and horrifying that I know you'll just loathe it, because I do. I have a hard time watching the show.
Hey, Sailor Moon!
No. Worse. Ow! Fucking... my boyfriend's so hot!
Oh, well, I mean, that's why Daria is supposed to hate her, right?
Right, but it's ludicrous.
It's
but at the same time, all of the characters that Daria is supposed to hate ultimately have something redeeming about them, or there's a sequence in the show where Daria is able to relate to them in some way. I think it's a really great show. It's very much a product of its era. You need to go in with an open mind. I love it.
A lot of shows do these contemptible characters. In the end, there's something redeeming about them. But I feel like one show that should have avoided that was The Office. Where The Office, they tried to eventually make we really are a community.
That's what the British version is.
Business.
That's what the British version is that he's completely irredeemable.
Right. Yes, it's a lot more cruel. Where in The Office, it's like at the beginning. I'm stealing all of this, by the way. I haven't made any of this theory. I'm not making any of this up. This isn't my insight. I'm not that smart. But like Dwight was originally the only person who took the company seriously, and he was insane because of that. But by the end, everyone is sincerely treating the company as like a family, which is horrifying and totally like just bizarre. And it should have gone in the complete opposite direction. Right. Anyways, our last show.
Yes.
Which
boy!
Watched. Probably the show. Okay.
Yeah, baby! Woo! We made it!
We did it. We made it, fam. The show I was probably looking forward to second to the most, next to Backstreet Girls.
Oh, yeah!
Actually mostly delivered. A manga adaptation by Silver Link.
Boy, is it!
Silver Link seems to have pulled through with a decent show, as they do 16% of the time. Sunoharasou, we gotta calm down. Kanrinin-san. Jesus Christ. Most of my notes here are just the Lenny face. But you did the last one. I'll do this one. Are you ready to watch this effeminate little boy get his dick soaked?
Oh, let's go!
Yeah, it's a show about a little boy, I think about 12 years old. His name's Aki, entering middle school, which I think starts in 7th grade.
Doesn't matter.
For the Japs. Okay, yeah. Apparently he's cute because he's walking towards his new place he's living. People are commenting on how cute he is. And he's walking to, I guess he's living in a dorm for middle school because fucking Japan, God, who knows. The show doesn't look, it looks pretty washed out. It's very not colorful. But the opening is good. I like the opening a lot. But he goes to gets the dorm, meets this lady. The what's her title? She's the Kanrinin. I forget what that translates to. The housekeeper.
She's the miss. She's the miss. The housekeeper.
The mistress. So bath time already. As soon as he gets in there, because he got rained on. She takes him to the bath. Thinks he's a girl because she's very cute.
Oh,
he's very
boy.
Cute.
Oh
So
my God!
he's
What a
sitting in the
situation
bath.
to be in.
He's
Wow.
sitting in the bath. She comes in. It's like, all right, it's tradition. I wash all the girls' backs who move in here. And he just doesn't. He just won't say anything. And I'm just like, oh, just tell her you're a boy. It's not that hard. Finally, he does. But she washes his back anyways, I think. And more fucking ear nibbling. This season is fucking blessed. Did not think, like, this is totally, I'm still confused about this, honestly, because it's like, she nibbles his fucking ear, which I thought this would all be dick teasing, but like that actually crosses a line into like, wait a second.
That's blatantly sexual. That's blatantly
actually
sexual at that
like,
point.
yeah, but she doesn't act that way. She's totally like motherly, possibly to like to an overbearing, like uncomfortable degree for the rest of the show. But there's no mouth action, but this one moment where she fucking sucks on this dude's ear.
Wow.
And also sees his dick because he passes out and she dresses him up. And this ungrateful little shit is like just resisting her at every turn. He keeps resisting her whenever she touches him. But then he starts fantasizing about her. I guess it kind of makes sense because he wants her to think of him as a man, and if she thought of him as an actual man, then she wouldn't be touching him as much. I guess I kind of get that. But still, he doesn't like it when she touches her, which is, come on, man. He's got to take it where you can. I was thinking forced feminization fetishists are going to love this because he's flashing back his traumatic past as his sister dressed him up like a girl because he was so girly. So that's why
there are a lot of fetishists that are going to be in love with this thing. Here's the thing is that I don't get off to this, right? I don't get off to the things that are espoused in the show.
I do.
Personally.
So let me just
I'm not. Yeah. But here's the thing, I enjoy it regardless of the fact that I'm not nutting the entire time.
Why is that?
Because I know somewhere somebody is really hard. It's like
getting off on not empathy or
I'm living vicariously through these people who are aroused by this.
You're having a vicarious boner.
I think it's hilarious. I think it's so funny because this entire piece of media is aimed at one person, a specific person who wants to come. And I'm like, fucking A. I'm like, good on you. You know what I mean?
The ultimate mommy GF. She's got she's got the big old just
everybody's got titties.
Honking.
I would say.
Well, I mean, she has the biggest. Yeah.
I know, but there's still like varying size of titties, with most of them trending towards pretty big.
Right.
And I'm just happy for the people who are jerking off to this. And I'm like, you know what? You deserve it, guys. Rarely are you ever catered to so blatantly in a way where it's.
You never, as a 12-year-old, just wanted like basically a babysitter who would just like, give you sort of like, not pity, jerk offs, but just kind of like, oh, I'll help you out here, and
It's
just sort of
like,
sit
it's like
you
it
in
doesn't
my
even
lap
matter to
and-
them. It's just something that's so commonplace.
Well,
to
no,
them,
like they like they care about you and they want to relieve you, so they just kind of sit you in their lap and just sort of like, oh, there you go. And
Sure. And as an adult, I've moved past that. But at the same time, I know there are people who are still really into it, and I'm like totally down with that. I'm like, okay. there's some. I think what it is that I'm so fundamentally broken that
But you're just glad when other people are depraved enough to enjoy these things.
Exactly, where I'm like, I get pleasure out of people like myself getting the thing they want so desperately.
You have a degeneracy fetish.
Yes.
You don't participate in it. You don't enjoy it. It's, oh my God.
Well, it's not even my own fetish.
You're fucking reaching new levels. I don't even.
Because
this is new ground.
Oh, the West doesn't make shit like this. The West doesn't ever make anything where like the girls older women are just laying titties on top of little boys' heads.
No, this would be in the West. This would be like this would be a 16-year-old girl and this woman, or no, they'd be dudes.
You'd have to go to France. You would either have to go to France or have it be dudes in France.
No, it would just be like they'd be in America and they would just be like really like I don't know. I haven't seen Call Me by Your Name, but it would just be like we're just really like serious. Or this is just like, yeah, man.
This is all about the fact that it's going to be funny and you're going to come while watching it.
Indulge.
I love it. I love this show. I think it's fucking amazing because it's entertaining in how disgusting it is, in how
it's
how
mostly
base.
wholesome.
It's base, and it seems outwardly wholesome, but its instincts are so base. It's designed specifically.
His instincts are base, but he's a 12-year-old boy. You know, what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I think it's amazing. I watched this and never once did I say this shouldn't have been made or I would have rather another show was made in this show's place. We
need to keep going through the
go
the episode. So he decides to try to convince her of his masculinity. So he tries to do all the chores and just keeps fucking up all of them. He's fucking up and she says, what does she say? She says, oh, I'll think of you as a man if you give me a kiss on the cheek. So he's about to do that, and then all the other characters show up in the dorm.
It's because you're edging. It's because you're still edging at this point.
Okay. I don't know if they put that much thought into it. It's like Makoto Shinkai's like excitement graph, except it's how close the audience is to coming. So yeah, it's all girls. I think they're supposed to be this kid's age, but they all seem really old. I don't know if he's particularly tiny, but they're all like a solid foot taller than him.
Which might be how it is at the time. I don't remember. There was a point in my life where all the girls were taller than me.
Everyone always says that. I guess I'm just tall, so I never really noticed. But there's supposed to be a point where all the girls are tall and all the boys aren't yet.
Are you implying that I'm not tall because
you're the same height?
I'm like 7'8", by the way, in case anybody's wondering.
6'20", fucking killing for fun. So I like the class president who's like she's also short. She's a lolly, but she's kind of she just jokes around. Like she's kind of, sort of the archetype of sort of the strict commanding lolly. But she's like that, except she lights up and she kids around and messes with them, kind of acts like an old lady. One of them seems to be kind of like a lesbo who gets nosebleeds from giving the other one a piggyback ride, and one of them is into the forced feminization stuff, so it's just kind of a pervert.
There's no reprieve. There's no reprieve from this.
You have no sanctuary here.
Look, this is straight Shoujo all the way.
No fap. You have no chance.
Shout out to my straight Shoujo boys, because like, I get you. I understand. That's it.
Okay. This show got me thinking. Did you know that scene from Almost Famous actually happens and Cameron Crowe lost his virginity to a room full of band groupies?
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How fucking rad is that shit?
Well, here's the thing: is that a lot of a lot of artist stuff is drawn from their own lives.
Well, yeah. I mean that film is semi-autobiographical.
Pretty amazing. What a great movie, by the way.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, it was a decent film. But yeah, imagine just getting seduced by an orgy of 70s women. And like, how old was he at the time? Like 15, probably?
Probably 16 or 17.
15, 16, yeah. That's crazy. Anyways, this housekeeper lady's got that fucking wagon. She's huge. The last scene is her putting on a high school uniform and training him to talk with his fellow students on his first day of school, and she fucking strips and then gives him full pomage into the boob, which just further shocked me, but then also made me say, hey, nice, and that's the end of the show.
Okay, there's a point I need to make, right?
Okay, please do.
If you want my entire opinion on the show, I would say every minute and a half, that's an average, I said nice. Where I'm like, nice. I'm just sitting there by myself, alone in my room, and I can't control it. This is an impulse. I'm like, nice. Nice. That's very nice.
Some shows just make you go into Steve 1989 mode.
Nice. Like, oh, nice. And it's, again, not because I'm coming, but because I know out there somewhere somebody's going to come to it really hard.
Yeah.
Like, sure, and I'm like, man. Nice. Good. I'm finally glad. I'm glad that somebody finally got that, you know. This show is depraved and I love it.
It's not that depraved, but I mean, kinda.
It's the equivalent of like mumble rap, but in anime, where it's like, okay, it's devoid of any sort of real innovation or quality. But the thing about it is that it goes one step further into the abyss, and I love that.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's it for part. How many shows was that? Only 5?
That was 6.
Oh, nice.
I think my only note on this show was nice. By the way, I can't confirm. Man. My only note was nice.